My name is Steve Stevens, the best sports consultant money can buy. I make more money betting sports than anybody in the world. I'm the one that tells you who to bet. I'm not a bookie, I'm the Bookie Killer.
If money talks, then I got a lot to say. I'm on the grind trying to make $100,000 a day. The game that I pick, believe me, it's a winner. What I know could get you rich, cause all I pick is winners. Welcome to Las Vegas. Money talks, money talks. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are now tuned in and listening to the VIP Sports Podcast. I'm Steve Stevens, a.k.a. the Bookie Killer, sitting here with my co-host, the numero uno, the big skipper. They call him the chiropractor because he's known to straighten people out along with their bankrolls. Good morning, Skip.
Good morning, Steve Stevens. How are you?
Buddy, I'm fantastic. I'm feeling good. Looks like you're feeling pretty good, too.
Well, today's August 10th, 2017. It's podcast 132 already.
Podcast 132 already, ladies and gentlemen. That 200 will be here before we know it, huh, Skipper?
132 podcasts. We're still under construction here. So you might see some wires hanging back behind my neck here, and hopefully we don't get any electrical shocks, Steve.
Well,
the studio is going to be here soon, and I'm excited.
Well, the studio is going to be here before you know it. Like I said, this should be the last podcast that we do with the ghetto background. I don't know if you guys like that couture background of Skip, that wall. We could have gave a better podcast out of the penitentiary. You know what I mean?
They don't give a fuck about what I look like, Steve. They don't give a fuck about what's behind me.
They care about the knowledge.
That's it. All they care about is the knowledge. What's up here in Skipper's brain. What's coming from Steve Stevens and his sources. That's all they really give a fuck about.
I was just going to say, we actually could be locked up in the penitentiary, and people would watch us over anybody else due to the fact that I'm the most feared sports bettor in the world. And these people are only looking for knowledge on how they can win against the spread.
That's all we're interested in. How do we make the money, Steve?
No one cares who wins or loses. People care about who covers the spread.
That's right. Where's my money? I got no favorite team. As long as my money wins, I win. I don't give a fuck if it's my favorite team or the team I hate the most. As long as your information is solid like it always is, that's all I give a fuck about, Steve.
Beautiful. We got a good day for you today, and we got a great show to be exact. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. Ladies and gentlemen, today's going to be one of those shows that are going to have more information than your brain could possibly intake.
More information than Encyclopedia Britannica. We're
going to take you down a road that you've never been before, so you might want to grab a pen and a piece of paper and be ready to take notes, because we're going to take you on a mission and over and beyond what you ever thought was possible. Fair enough?
We're going to talk about some weekend series this weekend in baseball, right?
Yes, we are.
That are extremely important. We're going to break those series down for you.
We sure are. There's a couple big weekend matchups that's going to determine who takes over first place, who takes over in the division.
Wild card fighting is going on right now.
Wild card fighting is in full effect, I agree. And we're also going to show them a little ins and outs today of preseason football that they would never get anybody else or anywhere else, period.
There's 7 NFL preseason games tonight. Listen, folks, if you don't think football's here, it's here, my friend. 7 NFL preseason games tonight, and we're going to have a breakdown on every one of those games for you. So grab a pen and a piece of paper like the boss said, because we're about to fill your brain with knowledge. This could be information overload today, Steve.
Well, not really. It's going to be money in the bank overload. Does your bank account have the flu? Is your bankroll littler than a mouse's pussy? Could you use a little help? Grab a pen and a piece of paper. We're going to upgrade your life starting right now.
We're going to go over a couple of streaks. We got a new section called new segment called Streak Alerts in Major League Baseball. We're going to go over some streaks.
Yeah, and those aren't the streaks in your underwear after you lost all the games from yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about streaks of winning games, guys.
I didn't say skid marks.
Oh, okay.
I said streaks. Now, listen, before we get started, man, I have a little bit of concern what's going on out there right now. My phone's blowing the fuck up. Let me tell you a little story, folks. Steve, you woke me up at fucking 4:30 this morning.
I tried to get you last night, but you must have been doing a little gambling-andos.
I went on a bingo marathon with my wife and my mother last night.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, you got to spend some quality time with the 2 ladies you love the most. My phone was blowing the fuck up this morning, starting around 4:30 this morning. I saw it was you, boss, so sure enough, I had to grab the phone. My wife said, who the fuck is waking us up at 4:30? Normally, if you're calling me at 4:30, one of 2 things is going on. You're either whacked out of your mind fucking gambling all night, you need me to bring you $20,000, You all right, bro?
Well, I just got a new batch of that Master Closer Kush, and I tell you what, it is elevating me beyond belief.
It smells kind of crazy.
That's real good.
Now, you're either, at 4:30 in the morning, if I hear from you, you either need me to bring you another 25,000 because you've been gambling all night and you're going fucking berserk and you're, on a runner, or you had just got some information that came in that was confirmed that you need me to start getting money on ASAP. Well, this morning, it was B. It was the latter. You told me that you had gotten confirmation from a source in NFL football that came out of one of the training camps that you're so excited about, that's been confirmed. You told me how much you won on the game.
Yeah, 125,000 to be exact.
I wasn't going to tell him exactly how much, but yes, you said I need 125,000. 125,000 US dollars on this game, Skip. So get the runners up, get them in place, get them out there doing. For those of you,
what's the problem?
I'm going to tell you in a second. For those of you out there that don't know what a runner is, I'm not talking about a marathon runner. I'm not talking about somebody in the Olympics.
We're not talking about a cocaine runner, on a 2-day runner. Those days are over.
You okay, bro?
Yeah, I feel phenomenal.
I'm a little concerned. You need some water? Or?
No.
You all right?
No, I'm feeling good.
What a runner is, folks, Steve is not allowed to make bets. Steve is not allowed to make wagers here in the sports books, okay? When he walks in, if he walks in there with a $50,000 rack and wants to set it on the counter and make a bet, the sports books are not going to take that bet, period. They won't take it from me either. They certainly won't take it from him. So we have what's called runners. Runners that are part of our program that will move money into the sports book for us under their name, obviously. They'll go in and bet $5,000 tickets all over town in order for us to get the bets in. Okay, that's what a runner is. Well, when you called me this morning, you were excited, more excited than I've heard you in a long time, told me you had gotten confirmation from the NFL camp about...
Buddy, I'm dealing directly with fucking higher level shit than I ever have before this year.
I know you are, and I'm excited about what you told me. And you told me you wanted 125 large on the game and to start putting the money in and do whatever I got to do. So what did I do? 6 o'clock this morning, I'm waking up my army. I'm waking up my military. This was like a military response, Steve. I got runners all over this city right now putting tickets in on this fucking game. Now, here's where the problem occurs. These guys are calling me back and texting me back saying, Skip, they got me limited to 1,000 over here. Skip, they got me limited to 500 over here.
Good point.
Okay? There's only been 2 or 3 books in town that will even take a $2,000 bet. So in order to get 125,000 in on this game, Steve, we're having a hell of a time. That's what the problem is. Rest assured, we'll get the money in. My runners are working triple and quadruple overtime right now to get this money in. But we will get it in, boss. Rest assured, I'll get the money in. Now, people, this is one thing about NFL preseason that you got to understand.
Yeah, let's get to the message of what this whole story was about. If you motherfuckers think that you could bet big, you can't. The people don't know you. Skip, get to the point of what you were saying, because that's a very valid point.
If this was an NFL regular season game, there'd be no problem getting that bet in.
$100,000 easily.
We'd probably go to 4 different books, put in 25,000 a rack.
Caesars or Westgate would take that right off the bat.
Yeah, maybe 30, 40,000 in one book. We'd get that bet in about 5 tickets or less, okay? Because this is NFL preseason. The sports books have limits on how much they're taking on these NFL preseason games because they know a guy like Steve who has the contacts.
About to pound these motherfuckers.
A guy who has the contacts, that has the knowledge, that has the money behind them, and can get to this information in preseason when the practice squads are open to the public and the plays are being scripted and the information is easily attainable when you got the money and the power like he does. The books don't want to get killed because they know we got an advantage, which is why they got these fucking games limited, which is why we're working triple and quadruple overtime to get these bets in. If you're not calling us for preseason football right now, you're fucking out of your mind.
Period.
This shit is a gold mine. And we'll get the bet in, sir, I guarantee you.
It's just like taking candy from a baby due to the fact you get the playbook, you know who's playing for how long if you got the right connections, and it allows the head coaches to give a guy like myself the playbook and the information and blame it on the public. That's what I'm trying to fucking tell you guys. I get information that no one else gets, but it allows the teams and the coaches and the higher end of the team to act like the information was to the public, so there's no scam or really illegal information or anything like that. It's just it's not
Martha Stewart is what you're saying. This isn't inside trading information.
It's not Billy Walters.
Right. It's just information that is extremely advantageous to us from a betting standpoint, period. We'll just leave it at that. Amen?
Amen.
All right.
Shout out to Billy Walters, by the way, a friend of mine. Like I said, that's been his, he does what we do. You can't compare him to us because he's a sports bettor. And as you know, Skipper, there's a difference between a sports bettor and a consultant. I consult millions of people, but he got sentenced to 5 years, speaking of Martha Stewart. And at his age...
Insider trading.
Yeah, listen, just keep your head up.
Hang in there, Billy.
You'll get your cigarettes. You'll be in the feds. You'll be able to smoke your cigarettes.
Yeah.
Do your thing, and bet some games. You'll be fine.
Billy's a cool dude. He's a friend of the family, and we're really good with Billy. We
don't like to see anybody go in jail no matter what, unless, like you said, you're talking about fucking 16-year-olds or child rapists and shit like that. But like I said, all he was trying to do was get his nut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just trying to get the piece, bro.
Anyway, the moral of Skip's story is doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter who you think you are. The world is pretty much built, especially the sports books, off the average degenerate bettor. Guys that bet $50, $100, $200, $300. No offense, you guys aren't even involved with what we're talking about right now.
$20, $50.
Yeah, what we're talking, and listen, guys like you will make money for all day long. But I deal with the biggest sports. I want to make one fucking thing clear. My organization, VIP Sports, the company that I own, reason why I was on CNBC, the Business Financial Network, reason why you got to see me flying people in on Lear jets, driving back and forth in Rolls Royces, betting $100,000 on games, $500,000 on games. Reason why I was on the Business Financial Network, I deal with the biggest people in the industry. Nobody has bigger sports bettors or players than I do.
That's a fact.
The reason why I've taken over the industry is because I'm real. Everybody else in this industry on the internet, telephone tough guys, guys claiming to be millionaires, guys texting free games, emailing free games. These are guys that don't know shit. They don't have any money. And if a guy doesn't have millions of dollars from betting himself, why the fuck would you take his information? If a guy can't show you a sports ticket and he can't show you millions of dollars, why the fuck would you take his information?
Great question. Now, that game that I was just telling everybody about, that game that he called me about at 4:30 in the morning, the game we got guys out running $125,000 fucking dollars on, that game's going to take place this weekend. And if you're nice to me, I'm going to tell you how you can get it later on.
No, they're not going to be nice. Because I'm tired of being nice. You guys just listen the fuck up, listen to what the fuck we tell you, and later on in the podcast, maybe we'll work something out where we'll show you how to get the game that I'm betting a real $125,000 on. A game where I'll post the ticket on Instagram, which separates me from everybody else.
Stay tuned. I'll tell you how you can get that game. I promise you.
What do you say we do a show, the reason why we're doing this thing, huh?
If they want the game, what do? Call us for sure, right? What's our phone number?
First of all, you want to get a hold of us, 877-220-6540. We have levels and packages for all level sports bettors. Whether you're small or tall, crawling or balling, let me help you multiply your stack. The formula for success in this industry is money management and discipline. Betting one game a day and not every day type deal. Once again, if you get a text message from a guy that says we're 14-2 this week, if you ever put your hard-earned money on a guy that plays 16 fucking games in a week, get out of the business, stop listening to my podcast, and don't call yourself a sports bettor because you're a degenerate throwing darts. And God damn it, you work too hard for your fucking money to let somebody else do that shit to you. And that's what pisses me off. Because I got a room of 40 salesmen that grind every day, that call people every day, that deal with people that are getting buried from guys that don't have a clue what the fuck they're doing. And it hurts. Because it gives a black eye to the fucking guy who wants to help you. The guy that can make you a bankroll. The guy that can make you more money than you do at your fucking job. I take pride in what I do. I eat this shit. I sleep this shit. It's how I feed my family. So best believe I'm going to go to war for you. It's you and I against the bookie, not you and I against each other. I'll hold his arms behind his back. You punch him in the face, knock his ass out. We'll go through his money, go through his pockets, and split the money. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Go to our website, VIPSportsLasVegas.com. If you want to know you're talking to us and not some troll or somebody that is claiming to be us or somebody that's...
Only way you know it's us is if you call us, period.
877-220-6540. You can follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. We're at VIP Sports LV. You can direct message us there if you have any questions. Other than that, just want to thank the Armed Forces Radio Network for being out there.
I appreciate the troops for following us. Like I said, you can catch us on Armed Force Radio Network. 11:30 a.m. Pacific, and on Mondays, 6 a.m. and again 6 p.m.
Fridays and Mondays, we're on the Armed Forces Radio Network. And now more than ever, once again, stay safe out there. A lot of bullshit going on with this North Korean motherfucker. So, listen, everybody's on edge. Take your mind off the world events. Come into the world of sports betting and let us teach you how to make a whole lot of fucking money.
You're goddamn right.
Armed Forces Radio Network. We support you and we love you guys.
You're goddamn right.
And girls.
That's a fact. Why don't we get into the baseball segment? As you guys know, like I told you, we got an action-packed show for you today. We're going to give you some information on baseball that's going to show you how to focus, get mental clarity, and take a sheet like this that looks blurry and break it the fuck down. Overcome this shit like there's no fucking tomorrow. Make sure that you dot all your I's and cross all your T's, because at the end of the day, all that other bullshit doesn't matter. What matters is money in your pocket, and that's all.
Steve, did you just say the sheet looks blurry to you?
Yeah, that's what
I think it might have something to do with that Kush you're on, bro.
No, speaking of Kush, shout out to Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg up in the house.
Came over to represent Floyd Money May yesterday, smelling like straight OG Kush. He came by the sports office. Shout out to you, Snoop Dogg.
I saw the Snoop was dogging around here yesterday.
Well, you know, Snoop's a close friend of Las Vegas. As you know, his son went to
Gorman.
Yeah, so he was out here kicking it in Queensridge, which is not far from my crib. But you know how small Vegas is, Skip.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody out here that lives here knows everybody. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're anybody, you know everybody.
That's a fucking fact. You come to my hood, I'll watch your back. When I'm out there, just make sure you have me a sack.
Shout out to Snoop Dogg, another friend of the family.
Anyway, Floyd's looking fantastic over there, but I was just giving a shout out to Kush. I don't want to get us off. Great show for you today. Grab your pen and a piece of paper and get ready for the ride of a motherfucking lifetime. I'm going to show you how to make more money betting baseball and preseason than you do at your motherfucking job. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, all aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start this fucking podcast right off the bat with Major League Baseball. Skipper, I think you all know, everybody out there knows who sponsors our baseball segment.
Well, there's some weekend series this weekend that are of significant importance.
And that's why
we're going to go over that right now. And what you were about to say this baseball segment is sponsored to you by betonline.ag. Go ahead, Steve. Tell them all about it.
Betonline.ag is one of the web's most popular betting destinations, offering wagering on nearly every sport and event possible. Once you are in action, you'll see firsthand why betonline.ag has an A+ rating, including the earliest opening odds in the industry, which you love, the best live betting software in the business, and most importantly, fast payouts. Head over to betonline.ag today, sign up for an account using the promotional code ALLDAY, and get a 50% welcome bonus instantly added to your bankroll. BetOnline.ag, because you can.
Because you can.
Get right into some fucking baseball, Skip. Weekend matchups. These people have been hearing us talk shit for about 15 minutes, wondering where we're going to get the information. Well, guess what? We're opening our pussy in 3, 2, 1. Give it to them, Skip.
Chicago Cubs at the Arizona Diamondbacks down here in the desert in Phoenix.
Marquee matchup going off this weekend.
Big series.
That's something that's going to knock your socks off. I'm talking about results on this game that we can show you. We'll put a smile on your face so big you could eat a banana sideways.
The Cubs coming off of 2 straight losses to the San Francisco Giants. Wow. 2 straight losses to the Giants. Are you kidding me?
Giants, like you said in the beginning, they're
fucking pathetic.
Highly overrated from the beginning of the season. The biggest, I'd have to say one of the biggest disappointments in the first half. And Chicago Cubs, like I said, Chicago Cubs
played like shit the first half of the season. They had some World Series hangover, maybe doing a little too many commercials, and a little prima donna, you might say, in the beginning of the year. Apparently, Coach Joe Madden, the best manager in baseball, had some long conversations with them during the All-Star break. They came back after the All-Star break, Steve, red hot, absolutely on fire. They have retaken first place in a division that they should be dominating.
Correct.
Now, they've lost 2 straight up in the Bay to the San Francisco Giants. The Cubs are 4-6, Steve, their last 10 games straight up.
They're holding on to a 1.5-game lead in NL Central right now as well. Don't forget that.
Yes, they are.
Diamondbacks and Rockies have a 7-game lead for the NL wild card. So
yeah, nobody's even close.
No one's even remotely close.
You know, the thing about the National League, Steve, is that the National League pretty much is a runaway. The Washington Nationals are running away in the East. The Dodgers obviously running away in the West. The Cubs have that 1.5-game lead in the Central, like you just mentioned. They're fighting to holding on to that.
I don't think they'll have to fight to hold on to that. It's easy money.
They'll probably win the division.
Just don't trust them in the playoffs.
Now, the Diamondbacks and the Rockies, as you just said, They're both pretty much tied for the 2 wild card spots. However, they're 7 games ahead of the next closest team.
For the NL wild card,
Yeah,
so
for the
nobody's catching them.
Probably not. Okay, so now on the other hand, the American League, wow, it's wide open.
Hold on, before you go there, one thing I do want to say about the Diamondbacks that's very impressive to me, Skip. 37-19 at home this season.
Yes, they are.
Okay, we got to give a team props when props is due. 37-19 at home. Arizona has soft lines. Guys, that is definitely a Fortune 500 team to bet at home. You agree with me, Skip?
They've been all year solid. Matter of fact, they got the 2nd best home record of all of baseball.
Write that down. Remember, we're giving notes, guys. Don't get off track. You got your pen and a piece of paper out. Write it the fuck down.
2nd best home record in all of baseball.
And a Fortune 500 team to bet at home. We don't need to tell you anything else. Just know that when Arizona plays at home and they got a line that's 150 or less, get your fucking money. Fair enough?
Dodgers having the best record, by the way.
Oh.
Dodgers best record at home in all of baseball. Right behind them, the Diamondbacks with the 2nd best record at home in all of baseball.
However.
So that's going to be a hell of a series.
It will, but you won't catch Dodgers at the money lines that you get.
I might have to,
on Arizona.
I might have to sneak down there for a game.
Well, I mean, you've been going out of town every other fucking day. I mean, is there ever going to be a chance where you put the 8 hours in again for your guys? And
I'm not heading down there.
shout out to Stanley over there at the Mirage. Stanley, I was eating dinner with you last night. Love you to death.
Stan's a cool guy.
He's
man.
cool, but I thought I was eating with a serial killer. You didn't have much to say. I don't know if I overwhelmed you or what the case was, but
I think he's just intimidated for some reason by you. He doesn't realize that you're the nicest guy in the world.
well, not only that, but
down to earth guy, but he's very quiet.
that's not what it is. What it is he's out here with $200,000.
Yeah.
He never bet more than fucking three grand before in his life,
right.
and he's having trouble getting a baseball game off, which we're going to talk about later.
He was telling me he bet $5,000 on the Super Bowl one time and nearly shit himself. But
Yeah, well, yeah. How do you think he felt when he had 44,000 on the game last night? Shout out to you, Stanley. I love you.
Stan the man, you're a good dude.
And we're going to keep it up. So, Skip, Diamondbacks, like I said, even though impressive 37-19, like you said.
It's going to be a tough series, man.
It's only 2nd best to that red-hot fucking L.A. Dodgers, like you said.
Cubs need to win. They need to get better than 4-6 in 10 games. I mean, when you lose 2 straight to the fucking lowly Giants,
yeah,
you need to snap out of that and take your ass down there to the desert tonight and start off a series. But it's going to be tough because, like you said, Diamondbacks are very, very tough at home.
Grab your pen and a piece of paper, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to note number 2, which is my favorite matchup of the weekend because I love watching both these teams. Boston has made me a lot of fucking money lately. Boston at the New York Yankees, Skip.
There it is.
Skip doesn't give a shit about either team. I think you already know that. However,
I don't like either one of these teams.
Well, which is fucking amazing
doesn't
because
matter.
how could you be a fucking All-American baseball fan and don't have no love for the New York Yankees or Boston? Shame on you.
Listen, didn't I just say earlier?
Shame on you for not supporting baseball.
Didn't I just
OG Kush and apple pie.
Didn't I just say earlier? I have no favorite team when it comes to my money. I do not bet with my heart. I don't bet on or against my favorite team.
You don't bet with your heart. What did Dirt Bomb say? When you bet with your heart, you don't bet with your cream. Because when it comes to the cream, I don't have a favorite team.
That's right, my friend.
I keep hearing things.
Dirt Bomb. Shout out to Dirt Bomb.
Boston Red Sox, let's get into it. Grab your fucking pen and get ready to write some shit down. Boston has a 4.5 game lead on the Yankees in the American League East,
Correct.
which makes this weekend rivalry so special. New York Yankees can come in, play hardball. We definitely can't have Judge striking out 3 times. That's for fucking sure.
They can pick up some ground this weekend if they can win a few games at home at Yankee Stadium.
Yes, they can. And
however, Boston's red hot, Steve. They're red fucking hot.
They're a little bit, I'd have to put them in my category and say they're El Scorcho.
Hottest team in baseball.
Hotter than Vegas Concrete. And to be exact, write this down, guys, they've won 8 in a fucking row.
Yeah, Dodgers and Boston, the hottest teams in baseball. Everyone knows Red Sox. 8 straight fucking wins.
Yeah, period. That's a team that's going to get the money for you. That's a team that'll have you feeding the kids.
However, be careful.
That's a fact. Because,
I'll tell you why. Tell them why, Steve.
Well, because Red Sox are only a 500 team on the road at 29-29. Listen fucking close.
Did you hear that? I said to you a couple podcasts back.
Oh, my God, dude. People that think they can do this shit on their own, it's fucking mind-blowing to me, dude.
A couple podcasts back, I said in the American League East, bet those teams at home. Every
fucking night, you said.
Every one of them is suspect on the road. When you're betting American League East teams, make sure you got your money on them when they're at home.
To you Yankee fans out there in this Boston series, let me just tell you something right now, Yankee fans. Yankees have a chance right now to catch some ground. They have to win every game at home no matter what. Don't you agree, Skip?
Absolutely.
They're going to have any chance because, like I told you, I just got done telling you how to bet Boston every time at home. You might have overheard me and
you
just
mean
bet.
Arizona?
I mean, Arizona. Hold on. But I've also said Boston has made me a lot of fucking money and that they've won 8 straight games. That doesn't mean you bet them every fucking game, even though they've won 8 in a row. They're 500 team on the road, 29-29. Skip has said it over and over and over. If you can't win on the fucking road, you can't win a World Series.
And the Yankees are coming in from a 6-game road trip. They played 4 games out there in Cleveland.
They didn't do too good either. What'd they do? Split?
3-3. Yeah, they went 3-3 on the 6-game road trip, Steve.
2-2, and then
2-2
with
against
Cleveland.
2-2 against Cleveland.
1-1 Toronto.
Yep, and they just split 2-game series with Toronto. So
a 6-game road trip, 3-3.
Yep.
So they're a 500 team as well.
Yankees have not been playing well, to be honest with you. I mean, if you really study the Yankees, they have not been playing well. Their lines are a little overinflated because they are one of America's teams.
I agree.
And everybody loves to bet the Yankees. This is going to be an interesting series.
Give me your breakdown. Go ahead.
It's going to come down to fucking pitching as usual and bullpens. Both teams have lineups that can hit the ball. Yankee Stadium obviously is a boombox. It's a wiffle ball park. There could be a lot of runs scored in this series. Let me just go ahead and say that. Red Sox, a 500 team on the road. They got a 4.5-game lead in the division. Yankees coming in off the road trip. I see a lot of runs being scored. Let's see what happens.
I think just the opposite. I don't think there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be just amount of. I think there's going to be good, fair amount of runs scored.
Pitching,
I think what the key factor in this game is going to be is offense.
Pitching.
Pitching's always going to be in baseball. You got to pitch. CC, you can't tell any Yankee fan that CC sucks. But I'll say it again. I don't like him. He doesn't come through. Maybe I'm insane, but this year he has done good. Struggled yesterday. I think this game will be, 8 or 9 runs or less every fucking game.
Really?
I think it comes down to offense. And I'm going to give this edge of this series to the Boston Red Sox right now because I don't see the Yankees playing as good as they're supposed to. Although, I will tell you this. I feel the Yankees are going to do the same thing they did in the beginning of the season. Play good and fizzle out at the end towards...
Well, we're going to finish off the weekend because they're the Sunday night game. So,
well, you're goddamn right.
The Sunday night game will be the Red Sox at Yankee Stadium this Sunday night to finish off the weekend.
So write that down, ladies and gentlemen. You got 2 teams that are 500 on the road. Boston has won 8 straight. Yankees on the last 6 games on the road, 6 games total, 3-3. I'd give the edge to Boston. Like I said, doesn't mean that's where I'm putting my $100,000. Moving on, guys. Ready to write down game number 2? Skip, go ahead and break.
Series number 3 to look out for this weekend. The Minnesota Twins are playing at Comerica Park, a stadium that I just left last week.
2 teams that fucking suck cock. 2 teams that fucking don't win any money. 2 teams that should be in foreclosure on your fucking sports betting list at all times. Skip, I'm going to just say it right now.
It's a big series in the American League Central.
Twins and Detroit, do you agree they're 2 foreclosure teams, yes or no?
Detroit's been playing...
As far as sports betting.
There's spots that you can make money on.
Spotting them? Yeah, well, your girl spots every 5 days a month, too.
Leave my girl out of this.
Well, women spot every 5 days, all right, buddy?
Minnesota Twins just jumped up as a nice plus 150 live dog last night in Milwaukee to get the win. Minnesota Twins have won 4 straight games, Steve. They're a game and a half out of the wild card spot, so this is a huge series for them. The Twins play very well on the road, as we know. We've discussed that before. They're 29-23, 6 games over 500 on the road.
What are they, like a game and a half out of the wild card?
Yeah, I just said 1.5 games out of the wild card.
Unreal.
So they're right there for the wild card. And they're only 4.5 back from the division lead, which is a division that they've been actually leading pretty much the first half of the season. Cleveland has played well enough to take over the division. Cleveland's got a 4.5-game lead on Minnesota for the American League Central. This is a huge series for the Minnesota Twins.
It really is, and you know what? I owe it to the public to tell them that the series. It is a huge series, but in the sports betting world, I'm just going to be honest. I don't like this division. I don't like putting my money in this division at all.
There's not a lot to like about the American League Central.
So I'm not really hating on the Twins because, like you said, they're a game and a half out of the wild card, 4.5 for the division lead. Yep. So they're not terrible teams. From a sports betting.
They're hot. They won 4 straight. I mean,
correct. I just don't like that division.
They play well on the road. I mean, keep your eye on the Twins this weekend. It's a big series for them. And Detroit Tigers are fading fast, Steve.
I'd say so. Detroit's season is at stake in this fucking series. To be honest with you,
I would agree with that statement.
They are fading faster than when my dad had cancer, brother, and he faded fast on me.
Wow, that's a bad analogy.
Well, not really, because they are dying fucking fast. They are. Detroit is 6 games out of the wild card, 9 games back overall in their division.
Yep.
I don't see them turning around and having some hell of a season. If anything, seems like they keep offing good fucking players.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're trying to fire sale their team. I mean,
I don't either.
They got rid of J.D. Martinez. They sent him down to fucking Arizona. They got rid of Alex Avila.
Well,
I mean, last night Verlander pitched an absolute gem last night. He beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 10-0 last night. Detroit had lost 4 straight games. Detroit has lost 4 straight games before that big win last night. Verlander pitched a great game yesterday and just shut down the Pirates in a 10-0 win last night. Why don't we take a little break, and then we can get some shit straight with your microphone, and we'll be right back. What do you say? What do you say?
You do like making money, correct? I'm Steve Stevens. I'm the one that tells you who to bet. I'm not a bookie. I'm the Bookie Killer. Whether you're here in town on business or to flat out gamble, don't forget, sports betting is a multi-billion-dollar industry and you deserve your fair share. Call 877-220-6540 or go to VIPSportsLasVegas.com, mention this ad, and get a $500 personal play absolutely free. See you in the winner's circle.
BetDSI.com. Over 20 years in business, A+ rated and fast and free payment of winnings with odds on all sports and global events. Get a free $25 right now to try the site and a 100% bonus on your first deposit. Go to BetDSI.com now because it's only a game until you bet it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're tuned into the VIP Sports Podcast. Steve Stevens sitting here with the Big Skipper, home of VIP Sports. Anyway, we just summed up for you guys the weekend matchups. Like I said, Twins at Detroit, Boston at Yankees. Should be a great matchup. Cubs in Arizona. People are fighting for some good shit over there, huh, Skip?
Yeah, they are.
What do you say we get into the streak section that you were talking about? Let's tell people, after all, we're here to make you money. We're not ESPN. We're not Fox. We're not here to tell you information about every fucking game. We're here to tell you how to get paid, how to get that scratch, how to get that moolah, how to get that provolone. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Let's talk about who's hot first, Skipper. I don't think you need any introduction to tell you that the LA Dodgers are 14-2 over their last 16 games, which is fucking amazing.
They just continue to win games and put up numbers that is just phenomenal. Bellinger is just fucking an absolute fucking beast. The Dodgers, I don't even know what else to say about them besides they're phenomenal. 14-2 last 16 games. Hottest team in baseball. Right behind them, as we said earlier, Boston Red Sox have won 8 straight, Steve.
Both of these teams are hotter than fish grease.
St. Louis Cardinals are hot. 5 straight winners. The Redbirds are making a serious move. If the Cubs really have to look out for anyone in that division, it's not Milwaukee. It's not Cincinnati, that's for sure. It's the St. Louis Cardinals.
True, but you know,
Pittsburgh, I don't think is going to give them much of a fight. It's the Cardinals. That's who they're going to need to look out for.
Can you now tell this to our public also? Is that 5-0 streak a lucky streak, or you feel like they're playing good ball right now?
They're playing good baseball. They've been kicking the shit out of the Kansas City Royals all week.
Well, here's a team that I don't think is a great team that's been playing good ball. Seattle, 8-3.
Seattle's hot. They've won 8 out of their last 11. 8-3. There's a hot streak for you.
Correct. Baltimore, LA Angels, both of them 8-4, which very hard to believe. Angels are on fire. I expect that from Baltimore myself. They've been hot pretty much.
Baltimore and the LA Angels 8-4 their last 12 games. So there's our 5 or 6 teams that have been red hot.
So go ahead and write that down, guys. If you're looking at get some information out of this podcast, these are the teams that you're making money on right fucking now. Dodgers, Boston, St. Louis, Seattle, Boston, and the LA Angels.
Baltimore and the Angels, right.
Now that's who's hot. Skip, tell them who's not, and who should be shitting on the pot.
I'm going to tell you 5 teams right now that'll put you in fucking straight foreclosure. They'll have you living under a bridge somewhere.
No, you'll be living in a Motel 6 like the guys.
You won't even be able to afford a fucking Motel 6. Yeah. They're not going to leave the light on for you because these teams will turn the fucking light off.
That is.
They'll have you living under a fucking bridge. They'll have you in a refugee camp.
Oh fuck! So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the teams that will definitely have you living under a bridge. Go ahead, Bix.
The teams that'll turn the light off on you. The White Sox, fucking pathetic.
Oh God.
They've won 5 games in their last 21. 5-16. The White Sox are not hot. The Atlanta Braves, 4-13.
Definitely not the home of the Brave, dude. Those tomahawks must be dull as a motherfucker. You guys...
Shove that tomahawk right up your ass.
Oh, you ain't lying, because that thing is dull as the fucking dullest knife in the set, brother.
Atlanta fucking Braves, 4-13. Pathetic. Getting your ass kicked each and every day. The New York Mets.
Let me speak up here. I told you guys from the beginning of the year I didn't trust the Mets. I didn't like the Mets. Their team was sick in the beginning. They dealt with injuries. Haven't liked them since. New York Mets are a fucking disgrace. 3-10 to be exact, if I'm not mistaken, Skip.
You are correct. Absolutely pathetic.
Absolute blowout losers.
Yeah, you will go into foreclosure. You will be living under the bridge.
Your girl will leave you and suck Tyrone's cock for sure.
Oh, God.
Yeah, money's tight, things are rough. She won't sell her muff. She'll bounce.
Kansas City Royals have won 2 out of their last 10 games. This team is fucked up. They've been terrible all year long. They've
been good.
Steve and I have been trashing them. They're horrible. They'll put you in foreclosure.
Then they win 6 out of 7.
And then they go and they win 15 out of fucking 20, and they're fucking just playing the hottest baseball of anyone in the league. Then all of a sudden they come back and they fucking go 2-9. I mean, this team is... You can't figure them out. The bottom line is...
Untrustworthy. Every one of these teams.
The bottom line is they suck. They're 2-8 their last 10 games. The Houston Astros in a little bit of a slide, Steve.
Well, this is the best one on the list because people would not expect them to be on the what's not hot list.
Well, they've been so hot all year. They've been phenomenal. They've been right up there with the Dodgers and the Nationals, just playing great baseball all year. They've been a little cold.
And it's our job to give them the real news. Houston is not a team that you bet money on right now. You got to give Houston a break.
You got to stay away from them. And they continue to be, Steve, minus 200, minus 240 every day. And if you're chasing your money on the Houston Astros, JJ Nava, thinking that they're going to come back and win 6 or 7 in a row,
JJ,
don't chase your money on minus 240 favorites. It's the worst thing you can do in all sports. It'll put you in fucking bankruptcy before you can blink your eyes. And the Houston Astros, I guarantee, have destroyed a lot of amateur sports bettors here in the last 2 weeks.
And let me tell you why. Because here's what they're doing. They see those lines at minus 220. They think the team is hot as a pistol when they're not.
They're betting them on the run
line. And they're betting them on the fucking run line.
And they're losing outright.
And they're getting their ass whooped and they're losing outright.
Absolutely.
You might want to bet that opposite team money line and make you some real money, guys, and get to plus 240.
Houston.
Feels pretty good when you put 20,000 on a game and pick 48,000 up.
Yeah, Houston on their worst slide of the year, Steve. 3-8 their last 11.
Write this down, guys, one more fucking time. The teams that I do not want you to bet on, teams that are not hot, they're untrustworthy like a fucking hoe. Chicago White Sox at 5-16, Atlanta Braves with their dull-ass tomahawk, the New York Mets, which might as well lock themselves in the subway, Kansas City Royals, stick to the fucking barbecue, and Houston, I pretty much love everything about Houston. They'll come back and they'll do all right, but I don't want you betting them till we tell you otherwise. Fair enough, Skip?
Yeah, let's just talk about some streaks with the overs and unders, with the totals, where there's a lot of money to be made in baseball.
So
a couple of teams have been real hot to the over.
Hold on. What I want to do is, like I said, for you people that are taking notes, I told you, this is a fucking informational podcast. It's not one where I'm going to crack jokes about Khloe Kardashian's pussy and her camel toe and all that. I'm going to show you, I'm going to add that all in there, but I'm going to show you how to get fucking paid. I gave you the best teams to bet on right now, and I told you the top 5 teams not to bet on right now. Now we're going to go over some over and unders, the totals. Like I said, just when you don't need to look at a baseball sheet and look for a side every game, like we tell these people, Skip.
There's big money to be made in the totals.
There's gigantic money to be made in the totals. But more importantly, I wanted to tell these fucking people that about the streak segment. Obviously, it's sponsored by our boys over there at paperhead.com, Skip.
Oh, well, make sure you tell them about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start making real money by starting your own business today with the best player management software in the business at paperhead.com. Built with exclusive tools to maximize your profits quickly and easily. And everybody wants it quick and easy, if you know what I mean. Paperhead's secure and user-friendly platform allows you to become your own boss in this trillion-dollar industry. Make sure to jot down that link you see right there on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. And if you do, head over there right now. You'll get access to Paperhead's stellar platform for $5.
$5 grocery dollars?
I mean, be your own boss. You get a chance to, run your own situation, get all the stats. $5 exclusively for the fans of the VIP Sports Podcast.
$5 grocery dollar promotion from paperhead.com, folks.
So if you're like Steve Stevens and you want to bet big and live larger, there's no better place to cash in than paperhead.com. Fair enough.
Fair enough, my
What
friend.
they do is they give you all the stats, they give you all the information, everything that's going on to build your own business. So go over to paperhead.com for $5 and give it a try. Like I said, before the commercial, we were talking about how we get money in the over-unders, and I tell you what, there's more money right now in totals than ever before. However, you can't get a lot of money off on totals. We'll talk about that at the end of the podcast as well. Skipper, let's talk about the overs, okay?
Two teams that have been red hot to the overs. Toronto Blue Jays have been putting up a lot of runs. Their pitching hasn't been holding up. It's been leading to a whole lot of overs. 7 out of the last 10 games have flown over the total. And if you're betting the Blue Jays overs right now, you're cashing in more times than not. The other team that's been pretty hot with over-unders, the team we just mentioned a little while ago, Kansas City, because their pitching sucks, they're giving up a lot of runs. Kansas City, one thing they do is they score runs. Their offense has been pretty good, enough to put the over 6 out of the last 7 games. Kansas City Royals, terrible pitching, and they do put up runs. So 6 out of the last 7 games have flown over the total. Those are the two hottest teams when it comes to overs.
Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off because I talk way too much, but for those people writing shit down, we basically just gave you information we charge a lot of fucking money for because there's only 2 teams that we've been betting the totals on and making money, and Skip just gave you both up.
Well, as far as the overs go, there's only 2 teams that have really been real hot with the overs.
Yeah, but goddamn, Skip, those are the only 2 teams we give our clients. We charge $25,000 for that.
I know.
Do we want to give these guys every fucking thing? I could see when we could give them the top 7 and the bottom 7, but just to give them the only 2 overs, read between the lines. I'm not doing that no more. Top teams that are covering the over, that we're getting fucking paid, that we charge our clients hundreds of thousands for.
I understand.
Toronto, Casey.
Okay, well,
on the unders, will you at least give me 5?
They're going to have to guess. I mean, if they want to guess, listen, people, to guess is cheap. If you guess wrong, it's extremely expensive. You want to
free could be the most expensive. Let me look in the camera.
You want to throw darts? Go ahead. No, I'm saying guess. If they want to listen to what we're giving them right here, Steve, and they want to just guess on their own based upon what we're giving them right here.
Free could be the most expensive word in the world.
Congratulations. It doesn't cost you anything to listen to this podcast.
No.
It doesn't cost you anything to go out there and guess and make educated decisions based upon what we're telling you here. But to guess is cheap. If you guess wrong, it's expensive.
Guess what, Skip?
So don't bother guessing. Give me a call, and I'll fucking spell it out for you. I'll tell you exactly where we got our money.
And I'll tell them why, Skip. Guess what? Stats don't fucking tell you everything.
That's correct.
Stats don't tell you if the pitcher was on cocaine last night. Stats don't tell you if 3 players caught domestic violence, or they're sick, or have the stomach flu, or have a turf toe. So many things come into play that you have these stats go out the window for.
I couldn't
That's
agree.
why you need to call us.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Do me a favor. Teams that are making us money on the under, just please, let's go over 5 of them, not just the top 2.
Well, the number 1 team to the under right now has been Baltimore Orioles. 11 out of their last 14 games have been under.
Shutting them down pitching-wise and not scoring much.
They've come up really lame out here on the West Coast of California when it comes to offense the last couple of days. Matter of fact, the last 3 weeks, Baltimore 11-3 to the under their last 14 games.
Woo.
The Atlanta Braves, which we talked about earlier.
So hold on. Look at your fucking ticket, guys. If you have any one of these teams with an over, if these teams are playing another team and you got the over, pay a fucking attention because I'm doing this as a public service. What is that when this is pretty much a pro bono podcast. This is the only one I'm doing, Skip. We're giving them information completely pro bono without charging them, and I want to make sure you take advantage of it, okay?
Well, we got to hurry up because I got a lot of NFL information.
Bet these fucking teams under. Baltimore, 11-3. Another team that's a lot of unders, 8-2, Atlanta Braves.
Yes, a lot of unders in Atlanta.
Where else?
Which is weird because Atlanta's like a wiffle ball park, man. The fucking ball flies out of there. So let me just say this. When you get Atlanta on the road, look towards the under.
All right.
8-2 to the under, Atlanta Braves, last 10 games.
Just write this down. I can't keep going over baseball when we got football.
Tampa Bay, 6-1 to the under. The last,
write it down, guys.
I told you all year Tampa Bay's been an under team. A lot of people think they score a lot of runs down there at Tropicana Field.
But they don't.
They don't. Tampa Bay, 6-1 to the under the last 7 games. The mighty Dodgers, because of their great pitching, 7 out of the last 9 games have been unders. Another reason for that, Steve, they play at Dodger Stadium, which is traditionally an under ballpark. So, listen, know your business, people. If you don't know your business, your bookie's going to have your money.
That is a fact. The only reason why we're going hard and we want you guys to understand is because it's you and I against the bookie. They don't call me Bookie Killer for nothing. Fuck these bookies and fuck these casinos. You work too hard to give away your money. That's all we're saying, right, Skipper?
That's it. Another team that you think would have a lot of overs because they play in Denver where there's thin air and there's a lot of runs scored at Coors Field. Well, guess what? Colorado Rockies, 8 out of their last 11 games have been under.
Goddamn.
So here's the 5 top teams to the under in the last 2-3 weeks. Baltimore, 11-3 to the under. Atlanta Braves, 8 out of their last 10 under. Tampa Bay, especially down there at Tropicana Field, nothing but unders. 6-1 the last 7 games of under. The Dodgers with their stellar pitching and the fact that they play in a ballpark where they don't score a lot of runs, Dodger Stadium, 7-2 to the under. And the Colorado Rockies, much to your surprise, 8-3 to the under the last 11. That's going to do it for the baseball segment. There's 7 NFL preseason games tonight, Steve. 7 of them. We got a breakdown on each one. So if they want to hear it, we're going to have to get moving. Let's give it to them, my friend.
Well, like you said, tonight's Thursday night. NFL's in full effect. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we make all of our fucking money.
7 NFL games tonight.
There is a lot of money to be made if you know what you're doing, especially if you know. We talked earlier about how I get information with the playbooks. In other words, I can actually tell you what players are playing, for how long, and what fucking plays they're running. On every team, can I get that? No.
No.
Do I have all the information for every team? No. That's why we only bet certain fucking traps. That's why I'm a fucking most feared sports bettor in the world. That's why I'm the only sports consultant in the history of sports betting to be documented and on the Business Financial Network, CNBC at 72%. Nobody else is.
Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you how to get that game here real soon that we were talking about earlier. The game that Steve's got $125,000 on a preseason NFL game this weekend, and I'm going to tell you how you can get it here in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Before I do that, Steve, I want to tell them the NFL is brought to us by DSI, right?
Yes, sir.
BetDSI.com.
What up, Anthony?
Has been operating for more than 20 years. BetDSI is A+ rated. They offer fast payments on your winnings. They have odds on all sports and all global events from the players who demand it all, including office pools, poker, if you like to play poker, horse wagering, any kind of skill games. They cater to whales. If you're a big player, $5,000, $10,000 better. They cater to whales over there. Guys who need a no-nonsense, high-limit sports book, that's BetDSI. It's the perfect choice. So head over to BetDSI.com today. Create your own player account over there. When you sign up, there's a place to put in your promo code. Put in the promo code Cheddar. That's what they have on one of their flyers I saw, Steve. It said promo code Cheddar. You'll get like a $25 or a $50 free play. I'm not even sure what it is. But put in Cheddar and they'll give you a little free action. If you're looking for the best solution to place your wagers, go to BetDSI.com, where it's only a game until you bet the game.
Thursday night, 7 games. Like I said, it's in action 110%. Our season has fully started. All our guys are here. All of our salesmen are here. You guys give us a call. All my information is intact right now. We're time to build a big fucking bankroll in preseason so we can go into the real season with your money. As far as I'm concerned, this is the real season. What about you, Skip?
It's always real when you're making money. You know, there's a lot of people.
You're goddamn right,
There's
dude.
a lot of people out there that play fantasy sports. A lot of people are putting together their fantasy teams right now.
Tell them.
They're having fantasy parties with their friends or their coworkers. They're getting their fantasy team ready for the season. That's the time of the year it is, Steve.
Yeah, this is a reality.
Yeah, this right here, my friend, is not a fucking fantasy. This, when you're ready to get out of the fantasy world and you're ready to get into reality when it comes to fucking dollars and cents, if it don't make fucking sense, it won't make dollars. We deal with fucking hardcore cash, with money. This is no fantasy. This is fucking reality. So there's 7 NFL games tonight. We're going to give you a quick breakdown on every one of those games. Let's run through it, Steve. The first game tonight, the Atlanta Falcons are down in Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. You want to talk about this real quick?
Yeah, the spread is Atlanta Falcons -1 with a 36 total. Like I said, just to go on the Atlanta side, Julio Jones will not be playing in this game tonight.
That's correct.
Which I don't blame. That's their investment. I wouldn't be out there either. Here's a stat that I do want to give you guys. Last year, Atlanta was 3-1 with the unders.
Okay.
So you might want to look at their team as a first 4 games that they played in preseason, 3-1 to the under, Skip.
Last year, there are 4 preseason games. 3 of them were unders.
Correct.
And they also didn't give up a lot of points, Steve, last year.
No, and last year they went under a lot of their games. However, this year is a little bit different. So, like I said, I don't want you to read between the lines on that and just go take the under. But I do want to give you guys some stats last year in their 4 preseason games. And you got to go off preseason stats because they're better stats than the real season because they kind of give you their game plan and what they want to do every year, especially it's the same fucking coach. You know what I mean?
The thing about preseason football is you got to pay attention to the coach. The coach plays a major role in preseason.
You're reading my fucking mind.
In preseason NFL, it all comes down to the coach and his mindset and what he's looking to accomplish, and whether he's going to look at the bottom 80, the bottom players on that 80-man roster.
Or if he wants to win.
You gotta really look at what he's doing. And Coach Quinn for the Atlanta Falcons,
50%.
Yeah, he's 4-4 against the spread in preseason. His 2 years there with Atlanta. Last year, we already said 3 out of 4 of their games were unders, and they didn't give up many points. As a matter of fact, they didn't give up more than 17 points in any of their preseason games last year. So their defense was stellar last year in the preseason.
Other side of the token, Cutler won't play. Obviously, they got to protect their investment. That's all they got.
Yeah, they just put up $10 million for this piece of shit.
Oh, fucking embarrassing.
With $3 million in incentives built in there.
Miami's 3-10 against the spread. Last 10 preseason games.
Wow, did you hear that?
3-10 against the spread in their last 10 fucking preseason, or last 13 fucking games total. They don't win the game outright. They look at preseason completely different, or at least the organization of Miami and their coach does. So
right. However, they got a new coach down there now. So
correct.
Be careful. He's only been there 1 year, and coach
he might want to win.
Coach Adam Gase was 2-2 last year against the spread. Although the Miami Dolphins in general
3-10, like I said, against the spread in their last 13 games in preseason.
The new coach last year, his first year, was 2-2 against the spread. So
there you go. Moving on, you got the Minnesota Vikings at the Bills, which I think should be a fucking stellar situation because a lot of people are going to play in this game as well. Skip, on the Vikings side, okay, you got Coach Zimmerman, or should I say Zimmerman? That was a coach I had in fucking high school. Coach Zimmer over there is actually kick-ass in preseason, and there are 13 preseason games. He's 11-2.
Right.
That's a coach that's looking to win in preseason. You might want to fucking write that down and put a circle around it, ladies and gentlemen.
As a matter of fact, Coach Zimmer with the Minnesota Vikings has the best record against the spread, and let's face it, that's all that matters.
And on the road.
Of any active NFL coach, he's 11-2 in his tenure there with Minnesota against the spread. That's the best record against the spread in preseason of any active
by
NFL
far.
coach.
And 5-1 against the spread on the road.
Correct.
Which is even more fucking amazing. So write this down. We don't need to tell you no more. Minnesota and Zimmer, he's looking to win the fucking game. Let's talk about the Bills.
Hold on 1 second. That line, Steve, opened. The Bills were -1 when the game opened up.
And now it's Vikings 3.
Now the Bills are +3. This line has moved 4 points towards Minnesota.
I don't like it.
So do you think everybody and their brother fucking is betting Minnesota Vikings? Everyone in the world knows that Zimmer is 11-2 against the spread in preseason, and he's 5-1 against the spread on the road in preseason, and they've moved the line 4 points. Now, anyone that tells you people don't bet NFL preseason, you're fucking out of your mind. This is one game on a Thursday night, and the line has moved 4 points, Steve. So don't fucking tell me that people don't bet preseason football. Smart people do.
Without any shadow of a doubt. And like I said, that might be a trap. I'm not telling you I'm betting Minnesota off these stats because the play that I have is in the over. Over-under, straight up. I'm playing the total tonight.
Let me put it to you this way.
Talk about the Bills, Skip.
The Bills, well, they got a new head coach, Sean McDermott.
So the stats from last year in preseason really don't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter. Here's one thing about the Bills. They finished the season last year 3-7 their last 10 games.
For the people that don't know where he came from, wasn't he the defensive coordinator for Carolina?
Yeah, Carolina.
All right, so he's coaching them now. Sorry.
He's a defensive coach.
Sorry.
He's now the head coach for the Bills. Took over for Rex Ryan, who got ran out of Buffalo after a 3-7 finish their last 10 games.
Rex.
This is a team that is in some turmoil with a new coaching staff, so be careful. What the people don't understand that are firing on Minnesota, just because Zimmer's 11-2 in preseason and 5-1 against the spread on the road in preseason, be careful because you got a new coach over there in Buffalo and a new coaching staff. And if you don't think that he wants to come in, Steve,
he might have the playbook and he might play good players longer than you think.
You don't think he wants to come in there and set a fucking winning set a winning trend in Buffalo after they've been disgraced and they went 3-7 to finish the season?
He's going to try.
Be careful in the preseason. This is a perfect example where you have a new coach, a new coaching staff that's going to come in there and want to come out of the gate fucking winning to set an example and to get that winning spirit, that winning feeling in the locker room. They're not going to want to come out and want to get their asses kicked, especially because they're at home in Buffalo in front of their fans. They're not going to want to start their fucking tenor coming out a fucking loser. So be careful.
Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Redskins at the Ravens. Redskins are -2. The total is at 36.
Yes.
You want to talk about this? I know Coach Jay Gruden is 8-4 against the spread on Redskins side.
I do want to talk about this.
9-3 straight up. So in other words, Gruden is not to be fucked with, ladies and gentlemen. This is another guy that wants to win. Hardcore football head coach. 8-4 against the spread and 9-3 straight up. So they're not only looking to cover, they're looking to win the game as well.
Well, here's another game where some heavy money's come in on the Redskins, Steve. I'm not really sure why. Baltimore was -1 to open up this line. The total was 37.5. So the total's come down 1.5. It's now 36, and the Redskins are -2. So here's another line that's moved 3 points. It went from the Redskins +1 to the Redskins -2, and the total went from 37.5 down to 36. So they bet the under down 1.5. Some heavy money's come in on Washington. Some heavy money's come in on the under. As you said, Jay Gruden for the Washington Redskins. 8-4 against the spread, his 3 years there with the Redskins, which is pretty good. 3 out of 4 of their preseason games last year, they've limited their opponents to 18 points or less. So they've been playing some solid defense over there as well in preseason since Gruden's been around.
Other side of the token, Harbaugh is just as hardcore football player / head coach as anybody in the fucking business.
One of the best coaches in preseason against the spread.
Love him. Love the guy. Like Skip said, one of the best coaches against the spread in preseason. 23-13 against the spread in preseason.
Wow, that's
He's looking to win the fucking game.
That's pretty good.
Joe Flacco won't play, but I'm sure Joe Flacco didn't play in the first game of preseason the last few years that his stats are good. So
correct.
Just want to let you know these Ravens stats are legit. Harbaugh's legit, and you might want to watch out for this fucking game as well. Baltimore is 4-0 straight up last year in preseason. They pretty much won every fucking game straight up.
Yep.
And,
and they cover a lot. So Harbaugh.
They cover a lot.
Let me say this, Steve. The Harbaugh family likes to win, man. This is a winning family, and it all started with the old man, Papa Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh likes to win. John Harbaugh likes to win. This is just a family of winners. They don't like to lose. They don't give a fuck if it's they don't give a fuck if it's preseason, the regular season,
or in the backyard at Thanksgiving. They don't give a fuck. They're looking to win.
Yeah, this is just a team full of male testosterone, type A, love to win. They went 4-0, as you just said, last year in preseason. Harbaugh don't like to lose, period. And let me say this. He doesn't like to come out of the gate a loser either, Steve. There's a key stat here in this game. Harbaugh has won 5 straight preseason openers. So here's a guy that not only thinks it's important to win, he thinks it's important to establish a win right out of the gate on that first preseason game of the year. 5 years in a row, he's made sure that his team won that fucking game. He doesn't want to come out a loser to start the season. Preseason or not, he's a fucking winner. So remember that.
Moving on, Jacksonville at the New England Patriots, the Super Bowl fucking champions. Patriots are -3, 39.5 is what the line is right now. I see right through one of those. Easy fucking win. You make sure you get a hold of us if you have time.
New England opened -5.5 in this game, Steve. Now they're down to 3. So a lot of early money came in on Jacksonville plus that 5.5. So much money that here's another line that has moved 2.5 points, okay? We're seeing lines move 3-4 points in preseason NFL. Don't fucking tell me that people ain't betting this shit,
And
Steve.
don't tell me the bookies aren't trying to trap you either. Because
they are trying to trap you.
Hey, let's talk about, well, I can tell you why the action's coming in on that side, Skip, because Belichick's what, 44-38 against the spread in preseason? He's not that good.
He's the most veteran coach in the NFL, and when it comes to preseason, he's 6 games over 500 in all of his years there with New England. So, I mean, he covers more than he doesn't cover.
Barely. So, I mean, he's maybe 53%. He ain't not all that good.
Yeah, 6 games over 500.
Brady, 1 or 2 series.
Most likely.
6-2 straight up in preseason at home. So, if they're at home, I mean, they're 80%. So
they never like to lose at home.
No, they don't. And what do you want to say about Jacksonville? 1-3 straight up, 0-2 on the road. They pretty much suck in preseason.
Last year, Jacksonville went 1-3 in preseason straight up, and they lost both of their preseason games on the road. Here's another team that finished the season absolutely horrible, Steve. They only won 1 game out of their last 11 at the last season, at the end of the year. 1-10 their last 11 games last year. Coach Maroney, since he's been there, 3-6 against the spread in preseason for Jacksonville. So there's some horrible, horrible numbers on Jacksonville's side. Why this line came down 2.5 points is your guess is as good as mine. But the Patriots are now 3 and a total 39.5.
I want to. Speaking of football, I got some officiating news I want to go over with. In hopes to approve the officiating, the NFL will hire up to 24 full-time game officials for 2017 season from current crop of 124 officials.
Wow.
You think? They need to get like another 124 and then another 124 to watch them because the officials have solely made me and a lot of people not want to watch NFL, Skip.
Including me.
The league and the NFL Referees Association announced Wednesday from the NFL standpoint, according to the league source, it was essential that the communication between the field officials and its Park Avenue office was ramped up, and the feeling is that it has been accomplished. Well, we'll fucking see is all I can tell you.
Yeah,
because
I'm sure they do want that connection to be fucking ramped up.
The thought is that better back and forth between new officiating. Bottom line is, I just don't think they can ever get it down pat. You can't stop the game with reviewing shit every 5 minutes.
It's ridiculous.
It's just, for some reason, very, very difficult to officiate NFL. I mean, don't you agree?
Well, of course.
I mean, what are they going to do to fix it? Hire more refs? Give more people in the way?
Well, I mean,
or do you go XFL?
The referees are walking on fucking fire. They're walking on broken glass.
It's a horrible job to have, for sure.
Yeah, they're afraid to do anything because every fucking thing is scrutinized, and every single damn play is going to go to review.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a tough job. I wouldn't want that job.
Not me for a million fucking years. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we told you about the Major League matchups this weekend. They should be phenomenal. I know I'll be watching it with my son and daughter as I have all my clients on it, making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars this weekend. Shout out to all my clients out there. Shout out to all the listeners of VIP, everybody that supports us, everybody that puts comments in, everybody that looks out for us. We appreciate it. More importantly, I want to give a shout out to Podcast One. Our deal is official. September 1st, you'll be able to catch us on the Podcast One network. That'll bring us another 15,000 views a week.
Did you hear what he just said?
6,000 up to about 25, 30,000. I'm the only sports consultant in the history of the Podcast One network, and there won't be any others.
You just talked about that real quick and real brief.
Yeah, I am proud of myself. I am proud.
Does anybody understand what the hell he just said? We just signed a deal with Podcast One. We're going to be on Podcast One.
They're the biggest podcast company in the world. They get you to more people than you could possibly imagine. I'm the only sports consultant with Podcast One, and I'm the only one that will be.
You know that? 1 second, Steve, real quick.
We also have a syndicated deal of our podcast. Once our set gets up, there's a reason why I spent a couple $100,000 to get the set. You know, I'm pretty smart. We have a syndicated deal where our TV show will be presented on TV. I can't spit the network out, but just best believe this is going to be one of our biggest years ever, bigger than the Money Talks days. And sorry, what were we going to say, Skip?
That game that I was telling you about, folks, the $125,000 game, I'm going to do something fucking crazy before he signs off here. I'm going to do something absolutely fucking crazy. I'm going to extend that promotion from last week.
Same game I'm betting $125,000 fucking dollars on, and I'll post the fucking ticket.
I am going to extend that promotion. I am going to extend that promotion one more fucking day. One more day. You call me on Friday, tomorrow, Friday, between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific time, West Coast time, Vegas time. Call me Friday between 11 and 4 Vegas time, And for 99 grocery dollars, I'm going to get you that game that he's got $125,000 going in on this weekend in the NFL preseason. In addition, I'll give you the weekend of baseball on the house. So for $99, you're going to get the game that he's got $125,000 on this weekend in the NFL preseason, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's baseball, $99 weekend. If you don't call right now and get your bankroll ready for the season, you absolutely hate money. Call me at 877-220-6540. I am going to fucking hook you up.
What a whore.
Yeah.
God, you're a slut 2 weeks
What
in
else
a
do you
row.
want to talk about? I'm sweating bullets.
Listen.
My fucking phone's ringing off the
I'm
hook.
about all done. Listen, I told you we got marquee matchups this weekend. Cubs at Arizona, Boston and Yankees, Twins in Detroit. These games actually matter. So if you're sitting there with nothing to do, those games you might want to watch on TV. We told you preseason is here. We told you streak. First of all, we told you about the streaks in baseball. We told you what teams to bet straight up. We told you what teams to stay the fuck away for you.
Not the streaks in your underwear.
We told you we told you what games to bet the over in. We told you what games to bet the under in. As far as NFL is concerned, there's 7 fucking games. We told you what head coaches are hot. We told you what head coaches are not. You need to read between the lines. If you want to make more money than you've ever bet in your fucking life, come aboard. Come deal with me, and I'll take you over and beyond what you ever thought was fucking possible. You deserve the best. Don't you think there comes a time where you deserve a new car? You deserve to upgrade your house? You deserve to go from negative to fucking positive? Well, the time fucking starts now. And for you guys out there that are feeling down about yourself, or someone passed in your family, or your girlfriend left, or your wife took 3 dicks in her mouth, or you got fired from your job and you're down and out on yourself, the fucking negativity and depression stops now. Fuck you for that. Stop being negative and get positive. Bad things happen. Tough times don't last. Tough times are going to come in and out of your life all the fucking time. That's why they came up with the fucking closing statement that tough times don't last, tough people do. If you're down and out on yourself, it's time to look in the mirror and say, fuck that, and build yourself back up and go to the next level. Because if you're going to be all you can be, you got to stay motivated and you got to stay positive, and you can't let the motherfucking ins and outs of these dream-stealing, hustler-ass motherfuckers bring you down. Doesn't matter where you're at, give it 100%. Ask for it first. If you can't, if they don't give it to you, take it. At the end of the fucking day, you can accomplish anything you want in this life as long as you apply yourself and you try hard enough, because someone's going to see it. And if you're not in a position where you want to be, eventually you will be, because your efforts will not go unnoticed. I'm the best sports betting consultant in the world. Why? Because I fucking earned it. I'm a kid from the fucking street that took my talent for winning games into a multi-million-dollar business, landed myself on CNBC as the best in the world. I want to make you money, but I can't make you money if you don't call me. I'm talking to you, you oil tycoon, you real estate investors, you hedge fund guys. You're not killing it in the fucking stock market right now. Save that shit for somebody else. There's more money to be made in sports betting than any other investment in the world. It's a multi-trillion-dollar fucking industry, and you deserve your fair share. I'm getting mine. You better get yours. On behalf of VIP Sports, myself and the skipper, we love you, and remember, be all you can be, because at the end of the day, nobody's better than you. It's your time to shine, and nobody can do shit about it. Fair enough? I love you.
It must be the money talking.
It's Steve Stevens, I bust your bookie head open. Split it to the white meat, I ain't joking. Me and Dirt Bomb in the ghost float. Straight OG like that kush I be smoking. It's way too potent for rookies to come hit it. A little white girl around, I might sniff it. Poppin' bub in the club, so twisted. My pops keeps telling me to go get it. So I'm at the sports book, betting big on the Clippers. I'm talking about 5 figures, I need a few shots of liquor. Might need another zipper if the bomb play me. Fuck around and put $500,000 on Tom Brady. When it comes to betting sports, Steve Stevens a beast. Need a certified winner called VIP Sports.